although it's got its main indicator. I can't remember the test. It's hard to stop buying mark. It's got a couple of
bought a breakfast bike.
It's hard to stop buying mark.
Do you know the trouble?
No, it's in Norfolk. Well, I went to study last weekend. Gone for a road bike this time.
Yeah.
Which
ones have you done there?
Sorry?
Which ones have you done there?
The tornado.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Wessex. And then you see the German sea which is a grey one.
Yeah.
Going down the cow in the Japanese market.
Oh, that's nice, yeah. Very nice, yeah. You can make some show for us.
There's 12 in each engine.
We did it all. Get away with that in Let's go for it. Most of what I do, yeah, they move very fast. Do something that looks alright and then doesn't do. I mean, not my house is painful.
How's that for 136 spark plugs? Is this off gas patch? No. You do it? No. A company called ANC.
What is it?
Spark plugs. The engine.
Oh, that's okay.
You don't need that many for your engine.
I've got 3 burners.
Which one did you bring in today? I saw you bring the box in.
Tornado.
Oh,
The Sea King in the Japanese armoured cars.
Tell you what, that armoured car looks interesting, but those two helicopters next to each other look impressive.
Tiger, that's it,
Are they both the same scale? Or,
Alright,
how's it going? Good.
Okay, sorry, not too bad.
That one in the
That's the new plastic case.
She's fine. I'm shit. I had the tooth pull out like a week ago.
Yeah.
It's still mentally painful.
Painful, yeah.
But when I check it, you can see the fucking jaw. And you can see underneath the bone as well. And so the bone is all exposed there. Otherwise, so painful because Atlantis called.
That's the first version.
Which is actually, that's the second time I've heard of a bad tooth extraction just recently. I don't know why, but I've never had any problem with them pulling my teeth out. They pull the teeth out and they take everything with it. Because I only noticed that like a couple of days ago. It was a tiny Chinese girl. Because I pulled it out because it was half of it done. And he struggled to put literally 50 minutes. He was trying to get on.
The major
And he
event.
come out of
From start of service up to the end of the Battle of Britain in Europe, and all the stuff in there. I'll leave you to dribble over that for 5 minutes.
You're going to sit over there, mate, so okay then. Right then, if somebody's doing the talking, then that means they don't have to wear a mask, so we can hear them clearly. Clear the system. Clear the system, get to yeah, so I'm afraid all I can say is these are exceptional times. So I don't know when normal things, well, can you class this as normal? I don't know. But everybody's been able to attend the meeting. So we've got 13 out of 13. Based on the feedback we had last time, we've had some more people who weren't at the last meeting. So it's just a question of if you've got anything you wanted to bring up about the meeting. Feedback from the previous meeting was that the tabling seating out was acceptable, it was safe, so the meeting's been able to take place acceptably. That's what it is next time. The next point is, of course, as everybody probably knows, the Nationals have been cancelled. So we know that they sent out an email with a letter to everybody, and the committee and the Telford Centre have really worked hard to try and come up with something safely, but of course it hasn't come to pass, I'm afraid. So what we've said as well is, regards ourselves, the theme from this year, which was the emergency services one, that'll just simply carry over for next year, unless people want to just vote, have a talk and vote about that at the AGM in February. But based on what Red had said with people's feedback, it looks like it would just carry over. It gives people more time.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't a rush now. So you've got something else to think of for next
We've
year.
got the bank holiday weekend coming up, and as per the previous meetings, safe space in the main hangar is for 6 to 8 people if people wanted to do the bank holiday display. So that's the Sunday and the Monday. Didn't seem to get that many takers at the last meeting because it looked like it was lots of people were actually going to go on holiday. So are there any other people that want to put their names forward for the Saturday or the Sunday? I know that Derek's done it before. Would you be doing the bank holiday?
It depends a lot on what my wife decides she wants to do.
Right, okay. I realise it's
It'll be a...
yeah.
I know we are going away the following week, so we shouldn't be going away, but she might want to decide she wants to go out.
We would have had the meeting last Friday, which would have given everybody another week's notice over. I realise that.
Yes.
Whatever. Just remember to cancel and rebook. I mean, I've done it today. That's what I was just saying about it. So yeah, I managed to rebook for next year. Although it's going up slightly, but you know, it's one of those things you forget about. Oh, the National's not happening, and the next minute, you know, I don't know what notice. You know, because normally you have to give notice, and you could end up paying for your accommodation.
Yeah, okay.
So just
I've completed things that I finished that I started. That's what I've said to myself.
I had an old Rebel 32 scale F2 Tornado, and I thought, oh, I'll put that because it's, well, you know this out, it's too narrow, it's quite an inaccurate kit, but it's the only game in town. So I put it on for 20 quid, and like, I was back at work doing it on and off. And I finished at work and looked on my phone.
Two of those at the Bolton show in January this year. But then I decided to build that one because there's more of a story about it. The person who flew that was the commander of the Midway Defenders of the Vindicator Squadron, and they went out and actually started attacking the Japanese, ready to actually attack the Japanese invasion force. So this is actually post the actual original battle. The Japanese were still going to try and invade, or at least bombard the island, and they sent out every plane that they could, and that particular dive bomber actually attacked a Japanese battleship. It was almost a suicide kamikaze mission. The bomb hit the deck of the ship, and then the actual plane debris got sucked into one of the intakes for the engine room funnel of the Japanese battleship, and it actually blew up the boilers inside and killed 150 Japanese people inside. And then the battleship just stopped dead in the water. And although the Japanese tried to save it by bringing other ships, that it got bombed and sunk the next day. So again, it was like the island's own revenge for the attack. But the planes were already very war weary and weathered, and they found that the canvas was coming off, and they couldn't re-dope them because the dope would just dry up instantaneously in 40 degrees of heat. So all they found was some like white tape to actually tape the canvas onto the planes, and some were more taped up than others. But according to the photographs that are in the box, that was the tape setup for that particular airplane. And there's 12 markings that you can do.
So I just thought I will do that one actually because it's a famous pilot for the US Marine Corps. So I'll put it on a base as well. I'll deliberately copy what Andy Jones does with his baseballs and put it on a frame. So I'm going to do that. So I printed some markings for that, and that will go around the base. And I picked up from Andy as well a US Marine Corps badge to go with it. The other two are again one of my favourite planes. They're Tamiya stroke Amtech TA-183 hook bind planes. It was a Focke-Wulf blueprint design. They did make a mock-up version which the Americans found at the end of the war. And the kit is a very nice kit, and I've built about 5 or 6 of them now. If I find them under 20 quid, I always buy them because they're very easy to build. So the one on the right on my side is actually a twin fuselage one, so it's a Zwilling version. Again, I made it using my imagination. And I've blanked off one of the cockpits. I'm moulding my own sort of blank cockpit, so it is actually still only a single seater. There's a couple of missiles that will go underneath it as well, but I didn't want to put them on just yet because they'll get broken off. And I thought I'd probably only got one kit left, so I thought, well, I won't build that. But then when I checked the box, I found 2 bags of parts, and actually I could make another one up. So the red tail one on the back is actually a solid rocket fuel design version. So there's not a jet engine there, so it's a bit like an ME-163 with a trio of rocket motors, and then a solid nose with like a Backham Natter. It's got some unguided rockets which go in the nose rather than cannon.
For a proper modeller, I think it would have been alright. I bought it initially because the box colour scheme took the fancy. And when I opened the box and I showed Carl the nickel sheets too, he said you're going to be looking at that. Many a true word spoken in jest. The Tornado went together reasonably well. I weren't impressed with the way they put a tab on the main undercarriage doors and hoped that it slotted in the right place because it was a blind fitting. And that aircraft was started about 14 years ago. I went through a very bad period in the last 18 months about modelling and went completely off it. And I think that was reflected in the Seeking, because that's the 172nd Rebel again, Seeking with the German monarchy. Looking at the box art, it shows it with a tri-coloured camouflage, which I was going to do initially, and what's the name of their aerial torpedo things they use? Not sea divers.
Martel.
Sorry?
Martel, Sea Eagle.
Rebel, whatever I can find is the closest to the colour scheme. All acrylics. Decals went on well, sat down well, a nice bit of the fixing solution and solvent, microsalt. Yeah, I like them. I would do them again. They're nice kits. If I ever run out of 72nd scale kits to do down as a club night, I might get another one. Move on to the Elise. That's a Mach 2 kit.
Oh, is it?
No, sorry, that's an Azure kit. Azure.
I agree with you.
He's still with us, he can't get a Mach 2 kit.
It's the only one I've ever seen of that particular type of
The
aircraft.
weathering is still not finished. I still want to do some more weathering on the outside. What's going to be for the Nationals this year, going to be Nationals next year, which are in the sequence. And it's off the HMS Hermes.
I was going to say it's based on one of the ship, is it? So
It's a shipborne, yeah, HMS Hermes.
It's really good.
Does it do anything?
No, it doesn't do anything.
Have you ever put anything in it?
No. Well, the only thing I've put into it is on the rotor head. This is the only ill-fitting part you get. You get a rotor shaft, which is 1/16 diameter, and it's in a 3mm hole. And it just flops all over the place. So I've used Tamiya tape and just wound it round about 6 times to increase the diameter by about 3 mil. And now the thing just fits in there. Well, that's the only thing I've had to do with it, which is out of the ordinary.
It's a popular kit with lots of
Cocked up on one of the windows, got a bit of, I've had some glue on my hand or something like that. And, it's got a mark on the window.
Don't miss the polish, they should have got rid of that.
It was all inside the edge before I knew it.
Always, not on plastic if it's glue that's gone through it.